My 10-year-old son's birthday party. My family ghosted. Not a soul arrived. A week later, Mom insisted on $2,100 for niece's Sweet 16. Venmo. No apology. So I sent $1 with a note. Congratulations. I replaced my locks, blocked every number. 2 days later, the police were at my door. What happens when the people you call family treat your biggest moments like an inconvenience? I learned the hard way that family can be a four-letter word, especially when it comes to the most important person in my life, my son. My name's Evan. I'm 33, a single dad. I fix networks for a living, and yeah, I make lists for fun. I know where every single dollar goes, the price of milk in 3 different stores, and which one restocks juice boxes on Tuesdays. My son, Leo, he's 10, loves Lego, absolutely hates olives, and thinks I'm a wizard because I can untangle a mountain of cords without swearing. We live in this small rental house with a lean backyard and a grill I rescued from the curb. My family lives maybe 20 minutes away, and in my head, that always meant we were close. It didn't. Leo's birthday Saturday started so simple. Blue streamers, a Costco sheet cake with Leo level 10 in pixel font. I'd rented one of those inflatable soccer goals, set out folding chairs I borrowed from a neighbor. The street smelled like sunscreen and charcoal, pure summer. But all morning, I kept checking my phone. Mom had promised, we'll be there. Wouldn't miss it. My sister, Courtney. Aunt Coco's bringing party favors. My brother, Nate. He'll roll through after the gym. I lined up little water bottles on the porch rail, taped a trash bag to the fence so the yard wouldn't look like a landfill. Every 20 minutes, I checked the family chat. Nothing. When the pizza arrived, I actually asked the driver, could you just wait a second? I was convinced a line of cars would pull up, that I'd need one more large pepperoni. He glanced at the tiny crowd, this handful of kids, and just said, you're good. 2 o'clock turned to 3. The sun moved. Kids kicked off their shoes, took turns with the goal. The neighbor across the street even brought over an extra cooler. Full house, she said, and I smiled, but my face felt like wood. Then, at 3:11 p.m., my phone buzzed. Don't be dramatic, my mother wrote. It's just a kid's party. Just a kid's party. I read it twice, my brain just refusing to compute. Not running late. Not got stuck. Not happy birthday, baby. Just that line. Like a sharp slap across the face. I stood next to a bowl of orange slices, and those words crawled right under my skin, setting up shop. Leo jogged over then. Cheeks red, hair stuck to his forehead. Dad, can we cut the cake? Can we sing? Of course, I said. Gather everyone. We sang. He blew out the candles in one breath. He'd been practicing, you know? He grinned at me, frosting on his lip, and I clapped like a seal. Then, I stepped inside, into the kitchen, to rinse the knife and just breathe where nobody could see me. The screen door squeaked shut. Behind me, the group chat bubble popped up again, dots blinking like a heartbeat. A new message from Courtney. We'll catch the next one. Today's insane. And then, a photo posted to her story hit my lock screen. Brunch mimosas. The caption, Self-Care Sunday on a Saturday with my people. My mother was in the corner of the picture, sunglasses on, holding a flute of champagne. Nate's arm, the tattoo I helped pay for, was slung around their chairs. I stood there, a wet knife in my hand, a cake behind me, and a 10-year-old in the yard who still believed adults said what they meant. The house smelled like sugar and dish soap. Somebody outside yelled, "Goal," and a cheer went up. I put the knife down, wiped my hands on a towel. I walked back to the yard, handed out plates. And I didn't say one word about the empty chairs. Not one. When the last kid left, Leo and I sat in the quiet. We built the spaceship he'd unwrapped. He didn't ask about Grandma, or Aunt Coco, or Uncle Nate. Maybe he didn't want to. Or maybe he already knew. At 8:04 p.m., after he fell asleep on the couch with a slice of pizza in his hand like a tiny king, my phone pinged again. Mom. This time, a voice message. Sharper. Careless. Don't make a big deal, Evan. He's 10. He'll barely remember. I stared at the ceiling and felt something in me go cold and flat. A new shape, all edges. I didn't write back. I started counting the chairs to return, the cans to recycle. Scraped frosting into the trash. Folded the banner into a shoebox with the leftover candles. I put everything where it belonged. That's what I do. And then I put my phone face down on the counter. Because if I read one more sentence from them, I was going to say something I couldn't put back in the box. I'd always been the fixer. The one who knew the Wi-Fi password and the tax deadline. The one who remembered everyone's favorite side dish. When my dad walked out, Mom looked me dead in the eyes, a 21-year-old kid, and said, "You're the man now." It wasn't a pep talk. It was a job assignment, handed to me with the weight of the world. When Courtney started her last studio, I built the website and paid the first 6 months of hosting. "You'll get it back when I'm profitable," she'd said, breezy, like profit was a weather pattern. When Nate got a DUI at 25, I took a day off work to sit with him in court. I'm the one who drove Mom to urgent care that winter. She had the flu and still tried to cook. I'm the one who Venmoed Nate's rent. Just this once, 3 separate, just this once months. Every time, it came with a chorus. "Mom, family helps family." "Courtney, you're doing amazing, sweetie," she'd say, to herself in the mirror. To me, it was, "Can you spot me till Friday?" "Nate, you know I'll pay you back." He never did. He'd buy new rims, though, so at least the lie had good traction. The day Leo was born, I made a promise to him and to myself. He would never sit on a plastic chair at a party and wonder if his people cared. He would have cake, even when money was tight. He would have apology texts when people messed up. He would have adults who tried. Money was tight a lot. Childcare is a second rent. Health insurance, a third. I still made it work. Over time, side gigs. Selling my old guitar to cover the dentist. When he outgrew his cleats mid-season, I found a pair at a thrift store and cleaned them with a toothbrush until they gleamed. Meanwhile, my family's group chat looked like a travel blog. Wine tastings. Silent retreats that somehow looked very loud on Instagram. Courtney's soft life era. Nate's grind set, posing with a leashed truck more than he drove it. When I once asked Mom if she wanted to do a weekly dinner with us, she said, "Sweetie, my calendar is full. Next month." Next month never arrived, but my phone did light up on payday. Little green bubbles. Quick favor. Emergency. Don't tell anyone I asked. Last fall, Courtney booked a girl's trip to Tulum and called me at 11 p.m. the night before. "My airline card got declined. Can you fix it? I'll pay you back Monday." Monday came and went. When I brought it up, she sighed. "Don't be petty, Evan. Money comes and goes. Memories are forever." In December, Mom sent me a spreadsheet like a ransom note. Holiday gifts plan. Names, items, price columns. Color coding on the right, in bold. We should split equally. Equal meant me, because neither of them offered. I bought Leo a winter coat and a book. I bought Mom the mixer she'd been talking about since spring. I gave Courtney a gift card to a supply store. Nate got new trainers. My gift was their silence at dinner when I asked if anyone could bring dessert next time. It added up. Not just in my bank app. It added up in my chest. The math of being the responsible one is that you become their plan, and they don't even see it. 2 days after Leo's party, I woke up to a new message in the family chat. All caps, exclamation marks, glitter emojis from Mom. Very important. RSVP by Wednesday. Niece's name, Sweet 16. $2,100 per person. Venmo me. No, good morning. No, how was the party? Just the world's most unhinged wedding tier price tag slapped onto a teenager's birthday, with the urgency of a fire drill. Attached, a PDF with a photo of my cousin in a tiara, a ballroom with orchids cascading, a menu that read like a cruise ship brochure. Caviar bar. Ice sculpture. Interactive gelato artist. I stared at the number like it would blink into something sane. $2,100 per person. And then, this line from Mom. "We'll need Evan to cover Grandma's spot, too. She's on a fixed income." There it was. The assumption, like a reflex. My name. A wallet. No mention of Leo. No, sorry we missed him. Not even a meme. Just an invoice I never agreed to. 5 minutes later, Courtney chimed in. "We're all in. OFC. Coco can't do less than premium. Also, can we do a group gift? Evan, can you coordinate? You're a spreadsheet guy. Nate. Yo, do they have an open bar? If so, totally worth it. Evan, you got me and Jess, right?" I sat down my coffee and felt it burn anyway. I typed no, then deleted it. Not because I didn't mean it, but because I needed to be careful. Words just skim on the surface with them. They don't sink in unless you tie them to something heavy. I clicked on the PDF again, and my eye caught the sponsor page at the end. There, in tasteful script, under Gold Patrons, was my full name, in honor of family. I hadn't given $1. I hadn't been asked. Courtney had submitted it. I recognized the photo she used. It was stolen from my LinkedIn. My stomach did a slow, stubborn roll. I scrolled back to Saturday's messages, just to see if I'd missed something. Maybe a "so sorry" buried under a meme. There wasn't. Just Courtney's brunch shot and Mom's voice note. The one where she said it was just a kid's party. Another text popped in. Mom. Also, I talked to the venue. They need the deposit by Friday. I told them you'd handle it, since you're the most organized. The deposit for a teenager's party that cost more than my car. Assigned to me like an errand. I picked up my phone to call her. Then I put it down. I didn't trust my voice to come out soft enough to be heard. That evening, while Leo did homework at the table and kicked his feet, I printed the sponsor page. I set it beside my grocery list. 2 columns. One for what I do, one for what they ask. I started writing. Soccer fees, mine. Court filing fee for Nate's license reinstatement, mine. Website hosting, mine. Costco cake, mine. $2,100 per person, theirs. Deposit, theirs. It's just a kid's party, theirs. I looked at the paper until the ink felt dry enough to pick up. The next morning, Mom sent a follow-up. Evan, you're quiet. Don't be difficult. Your cousin is only 16 once. Everything inside me that had melted a little for years started to cool and harden. Not anger like fire, but anger like ice. Clear. Solid. Deciding. There's always a small moment before the big one. For me, it was grabbing my keyring and noticing how my house key was still the old brass one. Mom had a copy. Courtney had borrowed it last month for an errand and never returned it. I looked at that key and realized my boundaries were made of soft metal, too. That afternoon, I stopped by the hardware store. It happened in the family chat, because that's where they live. I waited for a time when they like to pile on. Late lunch, when everyone posts photos and comments at the same time. 1:17 p.m. The bubbles all at once. Courtney, a boomerang of iced coffee. Nate, a gym mirror selfie. Mom, a forwarded prayer with glitter. I took a picture of the backyard from Saturday. The banner still taped to the fence. The empty folding chairs in a neat row, like a sermon. The cake box with the corner missing, where we cut it down and wrapped slices in foil for our freezer. I wrote, "This was Leo's party. You said you'd come." I let it sit. Then the replies came in, exactly like I knew they would. Courtney, why are we here? Text me. Mom, don't guilt us, Evan. We have lives. You know Saturdays are hard. Nate, bro, don't be a martyr. Kids don't care. I posted a screenshot from 2 weeks ago. Mom's will be there. Then another of Courtney's. Aunt Coco's bringing party favors. Then the brunch picture, their faces in the corner, with the caption, "My people." No commentary, just the visuals. Facts have their own gravity. Silence. Then Mom again. Enough. We're focusing on the Sweet 16 now. I sent the link. The deposit is due Friday. Be an adult. I could feel my pulse in my cheekbones. I typed slow. I am being an adult. I am Leo's dad. Another pause. Courtney answered with the text equivalent of a hair flip. Don't make everything about your kid. I stared at those words until they blurred. Then I wrote, you didn't come to the birthday of your own nephew/grandson. A week later, you sent me a bill for $2,100 per person for a teenager I see twice a year. You put my name as a sponsor without asking. You told a venue I'd pay a deposit. You said I was difficult when I didn't answer fast enough. Here's my answer. No. I hit send. Before they could swarm, I opened Venmo, found Mom, and sent $1. The note, congratulations. That was it. No paragraph. $1. One sentence. A mirror held up. Oh, the absurd. Then I changed the locks. The hardware store guy had already cut the keys. It took 10 minutes. The deadbolt turned smooth for the first time in years. When the new knob clicked shut, I felt a small click in my chest, too. Like a safe door closing on something valuable. I went through my phone and blocked numbers. Not forever. Not out of cruelty. But because I knew what was coming. The flood. The how dare you. The after everything we've done. The you're tearing the family apart. I needed quiet to hold the line. So I held it. At dinner, Leo asked for more broccoli and told me a joke about a banana in a library. He didn't know his dad had just flipped a switch that would change our lives. Maybe he didn't need to know yet. What he needed was a dad who didn't flinch. By 8 p.m., the messages were bouncing off the wall I'd built. The last one landed before the block. Mom, you will regret this. Don't forget who raised you. I set my phone face down and took out the trash. The next day, Courtney posted a story. A glitter countdown sticker for the Sweet 16. 10 days. Gold patrons, we see you. My name glowed under it. The comments cheered. So generous. Family goals. I pulled up the Venmo page and sent a formal email. Remove my name from all materials immediately. I did not authorize sponsorship. I attached screenshots, receipts. I CC'd a person with manager under their signature. Then I sent Mom and Courtney the same email from a new address they didn't have, just so they'd read it through corporate fear. I slept hard for the first time in a long time. The kind of sleep that doesn't listen for footsteps. 2 days later, at 7:42 a.m., there was a knock at the door. Not casual. Firm. I looked through the peephole and saw 2 officers. Morning, the taller officer said. He looked like a man who'd seen a lot of dumb domestic storms. My heart hammered. What kind of call? I managed, my voice even, trying to hide the tremor for Leo's sake. He was still in pajamas, watching a cartoon with half an eye and half an ear on the door. Family member reported concerns. Said you were making threats. Said you had their property. Asked for a welfare check for a minor at this address. There it was. 3 birds with 1 stone. Paint me unstable, accuse me of theft, and weaponize concern for my own child. Efficient. Come in, I said, opening the door enough to show a clean living room, a kid on the couch, a bowl of cereal. We're fine. The officer stepped inside and did the polite scan people do when they don't want to look like they're scanning. The shorter one nodded at Leo. Hey, buddy. Leo waved with his spoon. Hi. Can we talk in the kitchen? I asked. We moved a few feet. I kept the doorway in my peripheral vision. Years of being the responsible one makes you host, even when you're being inspected. This is about my mother and my sister, I said. They didn't come to my son's birthday. They asked me to pay thousands for a cousin's party. I said no. I changed my locks. They don't like that word. The taller one covered a twitch of a smile. That tracks. They also put my name as a sponsor for the event without consent. I emailed the venue to remove it. I have screenshots. I slid my phone across the counter with the folder open. Photos. Chats. The Venmo dollar with the congratulations note. The venue email. The sponsor page. The officer scrolled. Evidence stacks well when you live inside receipts. Any weapons in the house? He asked, because he had to ask it. Only butter knives, I said, and these Lego swords. He smirked. Any court orders? Custody stuff? No, Leo's with me. His mom isn't in the picture. We're okay. He glanced toward the living room. You're okay, buddy? Leo gave a solemn thumbs up. Property, the shorter one added, glancing at his notes. I blinked. What property? He read. Caller stated he was holding a family heirloom necklace and wouldn't return it. His eyebrows ticked, and I saw it land for him, too. The nonsense of it. The only necklaces in this house are made of macaroni, I said. If she means the spare house key, I changed the locks yesterday. I can give you the old one if that makes this cleaner. We all looked at the key on the counter like it was a prop in a bad play. The officers stepped to the side, exchanged a look, then squared back to me. Here's the deal, the taller one said. We've seen this a lot. Family gets used to a thing. Money, access, free labor. Someone changes the terms. Panic. They call us. We make sure nobody's in danger. Then we go write a report that says, no danger. That would be great, I said, and felt my shoulders drop an inch. Do you want to log anything on your side? The shorter one asked. Yes. I pulled up the email to the venue and my written request to remove my name. I also want something on record that they put my name down for a financial commitment without my consent and that I've asked them in writing to stop. Good, he said. Paper trails help. Keep saving everything. If anyone shows up here and won't leave, call us. Don't engage. They left me a card and walked out into the daylight. I stood at the door with that feeling you get after a fever breaks. Weak and clear at the same time. 10 minutes later, my new email pinged. The venue's manager replied. We have removed your name from all printed and digital materials. We apologize for the oversight. I exhaled. One thread cut clean. At noon, my aunt, Mom's older sister, who floats in and out like a reasonable ghost, texted from an unknown number. I heard what happened. I'm sorry. They're furious. Courtney's screaming about a ruined vision. Your mother is calling you ungrateful because she can't call you something worse. For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. I didn't do anything. I typed back. I stopped doing things. She sent a sad smile emoji. The only time I've ever liked one. The next 48 hours were a study in how a system tries to reboot. Courtney posted a long caption about toxic energy and people who can't be happy for others. She didn't use my name. She didn't need to. Her friends piled in with hearts and "You're a queen." The comments smelled like hairspray and denial. Nate texted from a new number. "Jesus, man. Mom's crying. Can you just pay the deposit and we'll square up after? We're family." I blocked it. Mom left a voicemail on the landline I never use. "This is your mother. You're not well. Family doesn't do this. You embarrassed us. You embarrassed me." She inhaled sharply. "The police? Really?" Her voice did that thing where it shakes when it's angry but wants to sound hurt. I held the phone away from my ear like it was hot. Then came the other side. Quiet messages from cousins I barely talked to. I saw the price. "Are they serious? I'm sorry about Leo. That was awful. If you need extra chairs next year, we'll bring some." And the neighbor who'd loaned me the cooler knocked with a Tupperware of brownies. "You fought the right fight," she said, like we were comrades. Maybe we were. That week, my house got lighter. Not because the furniture changed, but because the air did. No waiting for a key to turn in a lock I didn't invite. No jump whenever the phone buzzed. Even the fridge sounded different, like it had room to hum. Leo noticed the quiet in his own way. He asked, "Are we mad at Grandma?" I turned off the sink and dried my hands. "We're not mad," I said carefully. "We're disappointed. And we're taking a break. Like time out. Kind of. Except this is for grown-ups who forgot how to be kind." He nodded like that made sense. Kids get it faster than adults. 2 days before the Sweet 16, Mom tried a new tactic. The olive branch made of lead. She sent a mass text labeled apology. It wasn't an apology. It was a press release. "Family is complicated," she wrote. "Sometimes schedules clash. We love Leo. We will make it up to him. The Sweet 16 is important because of business connections. This is an investment. Please support. Also, Evan has been under stress, so let's not push him. Thank you." Investments. Business connections. My kid was an afterthought behind a fake apology. I read it once and put my phone down. At 5 p.m., the venue called my new email address again. "Hi, Mr. Brooks," the manager said, brisk. "We received a call from your mother stating you had recommitted to your sponsorship and would be paying the remaining balance. I wanted to verify before proceeding." She lied. "Do not put my name anywhere," I said. "If she says my name again, send me the recording." A click of a keyboard. Understood. The night of the Sweet 16, I took Leo to the park. We shot free throws until the sky turned orange. His laugh ricocheted off the backboard, and I thought about how cheap joy is until someone tries to invoice it. We got milkshakes on the way home. He lined up his action figures on the coffee table, and I let him watch a late movie. I didn't check my phone for a play-by-play of a party I would never see. I didn't want to know what centerpieces looked like when they were paid for with someone else's guilt. Sometime after 11, a final text slid through from Aunt Nora. They seated Grandma next to a fountain with dry ice and strobe lights. She said she couldn't see her food. "Your sister spent half the night yelling at the florist, the DJ, the waiters." There was a moment when the bill came, and everyone just stared at each other. No one made eye contact with your mother. "I'm home now. I just wanted you to know you missed nothing." I set the phone on the table and watched my son fall asleep with chocolate on his lip. I wiped it away with my thumb and felt something open in my chest that wasn't anger space. In the quiet week that followed, my life rearranged itself the way a room does after you move a couch and realize it never belonged where it was. I told my boss I couldn't cover extra weekends for a while. He said, "Good, go be a dad." I put a sticky note on the fridge that said soccer camp scholarship deadline and actually applied on time. I made a Google Drive called receipts/boundaries, and whenever a thought tried to argue with me, asterisk, "You're being harsh. You'll regret this." Asterisk. I dropped another screenshot into the folder, and the thought fell silent. On Thursday, a card came in the mail with kid handwriting. "Dear Leo, happy birthday. Sorry we couldn't come. My mom said we had to go to a different party. I wanted the cake with the pixels." It was from Emma, our neighbor. There were $2 taped inside. He grinned like he'd found treasure. I took a picture of him holding it and sent it to nobody but my own future. What would you have done in my place? Have you ever had to draw a hard line with family like this? Tell me what you think in the comments below. I really want to know.